What's going on, people? Welcome back to Nesta TV, and today we're going to be discussing Arsenal's new problem: Martinez or Leno. Who will get the #1 spot for next season? Who will Arteta choose? And here you will get my opinion, what I think about it and everything. So let's start with Leno. Leno was having a great season up until his injury after we came back from the lockdown and everything. So Leno had a really good season, and early in the season we would say it was Leno and Aubameyang was the two people keeping Arsenal out of the bottom half of the table, even though we was like more in the middle of the table, with the saves. Like Leno, very good goalkeeper, you know what I mean. He had a really good season up until his injury against Brighton. And Martinez now, who came in for Leno in that same Brighton game and was the keeper for the rest of the season, he had a great season in his last 8-9 games or so, whatever, 10 games, I don't even know. He had a really good season. And the thing about it, people forget that Martinez is a goalkeeper that have been with Arsenal for 10 years. Martinez been there for 10 years, He's the longest serving Arsenal goalkeeper. I mean, the longest serving Arsenal player in the current squad. Nobody been at the club longer than Martinez. A lot of people might not remember him. He been on a bunch of loan spells, Reading. I think he been at Wolves one time. That boy been everywhere. He been in the Championship. He been all over, and they kept him on as a second goalkeeper. I think since Unai Emery was here, he was a second goalie to Leno, and he only getting his fair chance now. And I'm gonna be honest, he took that chance. You know what I mean? He capitalized on that chance, and I'm happy for him. He did so good. His saves, he was making some crazy saves since he came in, and for me, my opinion now is what if I was Arteta, this is what I would do. Martinez is the current goalkeeper right now because Leno was injured. Before, it was Leno being #1 and Martinez keeping the cup game and some of the Europa League games and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So now I would keep Martinez in goal as the #1. Because I'm going to be honest, I don't feel like the spot is for anyone. Nobody named in a team shouldn't be their permanent spot unless their performance show it. That spot don't come with a name. That spot is for the person that's performing best in the moment. That person that's in form. So with Martinez being that person for next season, since he ended the season so strong, help us win the FA Cup. He had a great performance against Man City. Remember that save against Mahrez, where Mahrez cut it on his left foot and hit it near post, and he was still able to get down with one hand and kept the ball with one hand. And he's a very tall goalkeeper. He's 6'5", 27 years old. A lot of people might think that he's old. He's not old. He's not even 28 yet. Leno is already 28. And a lot of people look at Leno as the younger goalkeeper. Leno is actually older than Martinez. Martinez is 27. He's going to be 28 this year in October. Martinez turned 28, I think, in March or May, one of them. So, very good age for a goalkeeper, because goalkeepers, they go on until 35. You see Petr Cech, 35, 38. You see Buffon. You know what I mean? So, they go on for a very long time. And to say we have Leno, very good goalkeeper, 28. Martinez, very good goalkeeper at 27. That's good. So we have two goalkeepers for the future right there. So for me now, I will keep Martinez #1. I'll keep him in the #1 spot until he gets an injury or he dip in form. I will keep him right there. Keep the Premier League games. Leno, you just coming back from injury, going into next season, you will keep the Cup game and the Europa League game. And that's how I would do it. So now lately, Martinez came out after the FA Cup final and said, in an interview, that he wanted to be sure that he's going to get game time. And I don't blame him. He came in, shown what he can do. I think he should keep the spot, to be fair. So I hope Arteta do that. When you look at the goalkeeping styles, Leno, very good shot saver, shot stopper, I would say. Ball with his foot, His footwork on the ball, he's good. He's good. With playing out of the back and stuff like that. Area, you know, when he go up for like catching cross, punching the ball out and stuff like that. I think Leno is 6'3", something like that. He's not that good in the air for me. That's my opinion. I don't think he's that good in the air. And what else with Leno? Sweeper keeper style. I feel like that's a really German thing. You know, look at Manuel Neuer. I think Leno have a very good sweeper keeper style. You know, he read the game. He run out of his 18-yard box and clear balls and stuff like that. Martinez, on the other hand, now, as we see, very good shot stopper. He is better than Leno in the air. You know, he come out and collect ball, punch ball. He's very good at that. I like the way he come on the box. Ball at his feet. He's like, I'm gonna be honest. When the ball is at Martinez's feet, I feel more comfortable than when it's Leno. He just have that calmness about him. When he gets the ball to his feet, take a touch, and he find a good pass. I think it was against Southampton that he played a nice ball all the way to Aubameyang. And Aubameyang, you know, Aubameyang took a touch away from the defender. He was gone into the 18-yard box, and he tried to cross it when I think he should have finished it. But Martinez, I'm going to be honest. Based on what I'm seeing, I don't like to go by stats. Because as a goalkeeper, you can't really go by stats, because you might have a crappy defense in front of you, so that means they're going to keep leaking shots, you know, versus if you have a really good defensive. So your game basically depends on how good your defense is, you know what I mean? So that's just my take on it. So I don't really go by stats. Clean sheet, it could be the defense just letting you down, you know, like Leno's case. I feel like that's a slight difference, you know, in defense of Leno. With Leno, they pretty much had the same players, but Arsenal defense wasn't performing good before Arteta, so Leno was facing a lot of shots, so he really had to do his thing. With Martinez, he had a little bit better organization in front of him, you know. So I would say he had less work to do compared to Leno, because there was raining shots on Leno when Leno was in goal. So that's in defense of Leno. You know, Arteta have really put his stamp on the team. The team is a little bit more organized, especially since back from the lockdown, you know. Then Martinez was a part of that, but he was still doing good when called upon. So, my opinion, Martinez will stay in goal for me going into next season. Give him a new contract. You know, you can see that after the FA Cup final, you know, look how emotional he was. He waited 10 years for that. 10 years. I'm going to be honest. I wouldn't sell him if I was to choose one, especially since he's a little bit younger. You know, you have to keep Martinez. Martinez is considered a homegrown player. He's been at the club for 10 years. He's been at the club since he was 16. He moved from Argentina and he came to Arsenal at 16 years old. So, you have to keep him. That means he's a part of the club. He knows what it's like to play for the club. He came up under Arsene Wenger. He actually played with Arteta. He said when Arteta was a captain for Arsenal, Arteta would invite him over to his house, and he spent a lot of time with Arteta and stuff like that. But no, Arteta is his manager, is his coach. So he said he respect him. So I feel like Arsenal should do whatever they can to keep him. Give him the number 1 spot for now, since he's in form, he's doing good. And make Leno have to work his way back in. The same way Martinez had to wait. The same way Martinez had to wait for Leno to get injured. Leno should do the same thing. Leno should try working out that spot. Wait for injury or dip in form before you put Leno back in the goal as the number 1 goalie. So keep Martinez there. He keep the Premier League games and Leno Cup games, and I don't know whatever you do with the Europa League games, but you know, that's pretty much it for me. You know, I feel like they're two very good goalkeepers, Arsenal. I'm gonna be honest. If you was to look in the Premier League right now, and the goalkeeper duo compared to all the other teams, you know, like Chelsea, for example, you got Caballero, who is even older than Arteta, and you got Kepa. They say Kepa is like dinosaur arms, so it's like, so I don't really know. But Arsenal, I'm not trying to get on the other team. That was just a reference. You have 2 goalkeepers, 28, 27, and then Matt Macy is a 3rd goalkeeper. We don't know how good he is, but he's a 3rd goalkeeper, and he is 25 years old. So Arsenal got something good. Nobody really wants to be number 2, but you cannot feel sorry for Leno when Martinez has been there for 10 years and now he's performing. You got to keep him. Keep him in the spot. Give him a new contract. I think his contract is up this season. Give him a new contract. And we just go from there. We have to keep him. So, that was basically my thoughts on it, my opinion. You guys can comment down below and let me know what you think about the situation. Who would you give the #1 spot? Who you think is the better goalie? And stuff like that. And I'll read the comments and I'll make sure I'll reply to you when we'll get back and we'll conversate and, you know, let me know your opinion, please. But people, please subscribe to the channel. Help me grow this channel. Comment down below, share the channel, tell your friends about it. This is where we talk things Arsenal. Thank you guys for watching and I'll see you guys soon. Boom.